Hey, Brandon. I wanted to say thank you for everything you did for me.
Okay.
I'd like
What does that
to,
mean?
well, when I moved everything out of Nebraska, who is it that helped me move into Ken and Leah's?
Yeah. Yeah.
When I was stuck in that blizzard, when the Broomfield Police Department didn't have my computer, who came and got me?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That's the thing, is that it's not that I don't have help, it's that I don't have the right kind of help, and my friends are all too busy with their own lives to. They're doing right, you know? Like, you go to work and you take care of yourself. You haven't done wrong by me, you know?
Yeah.
But, there was some things I wanted to talk to you about, and they can wait until tomorrow or whatever, and
Doesn't really matter. I mean, you got my attention.
yes, sir. I don't know, I got a lot of things to say. All that mess in Colorado, like, I had to actually run away from the state of Colorado so that I wouldn't be assaulted by police. As soon as they put that assaulting a police officer on your record for arrest, it doesn't come off of the arrest record. And although they dropped the charges, every officer that I've dealt with since has dealt with me in a very uncivil manner.
Yeah. And that's actually the way they deal with my older brother, even though he's well defined as like mentally incapable.
Yeah,
And really he was freaking brutalized by one officer. And I mean he said a couple rude things to her, but I mean he's out of his fucking mind, you know. And
yes,
they
sir.
they virtually just brutalized the fuck out of him, threw him to the ground and fucking you know, stood up on him with their knees in his back and shit, and then said that he was, you know, fucking brutalizing an officer or whatever.
Yeah, they need to be required to wear body cams.
Yeah,
I mean,
for real.
what the Broomfield police did, or what the police did in Broomfield, including Broomfield officers, they wouldn't have gotten away with if they'd have been recording. And I got a funny feeling they were going to pull the stuff that they pulled just because, well, Natalie was gone. She was missing. They didn't know where she was at. And they did know where she was at. They knew it was her. They knew she was dead. They didn't tell me that.
Huh.
Instead, they let me onto the fact that she was shot with a 9mm. Like, those officers, what they did between them and the Boulder police, like, they obviously worked together to do that. Because during that period of time when the detectives from Adams County had said that they needed that information, they wouldn't answer their phones. And I had to try to get it through to them by another means, and that was one of Natalie's stepmoms, two of them actually, and they didn't even do that. That's the thing, is that I don't want to be out of the state of Colorado. I want to be able to see my older brother, you know? I want to be able to see my friends and family, and I don't get to have enjoyable time with people because everything that's hanging over my head, plus the fact that so many people that were helping me were threatened, you know? They had their lives threatened. They had pictures of their kids sent to them with all sorts of nasty stuff. I mean, I don't know how to stop that, Brandon. And I don't know how to
Yeah,
explain to
honestly,
Veronica.
honestly, even from my point of view, I have no fucking feelings about that. But he decided to threaten that kid, which they never have. I've publicly spoken about for you on Facebook.
Do what?
I said said, I don't even know how I would respond to that if somebody freaking threatened me. You know, obviously I don't have kids. What are they gonna threaten my dog? Like, motherfucker, you come to my house, I'm gonna shoot at you. But
Yeah, everywhere I've gone, people say that, and meanwhile, the police are
I
worried
get
about
that,
me having a gun.
and I get that.
They
But you
used
know,
me
moral
having
of
a
the
squirt
story is
gun.
like, I don't know how the fuck you would ever make somebody stop. You could only reverse and still fear in that sense. You know, how do you even get somebody who's threatening you to fucking stop? You know,
You go to the police, but the police won't do anything about it.
yeah, exactly.
The Bollinger family, they started this war way back in Virginia for no reason. They could have found out what was going on with my phone. They didn't care. The fact is, the people that did this stuff to Natalie are her family, and the things that they've done to me lead me to believe that she was right to have somebody shoot her in the head.
Huh,
That was the only way she was going to escape those animals.
huh.
I mean, you see how they treat your brother, you know? When they
Oh, yeah,
can call you mentally ill, they can get away with doing whatever they want to you. And yeah, sure, maybe
yeah.
you have a rich family who can come through and sue them and make some money
No,
off of it, but
but
if you
no,
don't
but
have a
I
rich
don't.
do what?
I said no, but I don't.
Exactly. But
Like,
Boulder
fuck,
Police in
man. I was
specific,
the only poor kid in my entire fucking neighborhood growing up. You know,
you also
it's
work
been that.
you work hard. I mean, like when I went to work cutting trees, you would Brandon, you would have loved that job. I mean, that was the best job I ever had.
I used to cut trees.
See? So you know what I'm saying. It's a lot of work, but it's good work if you got a good crew and they know what they're doing and they know how to be safe and we did, you know. But most of what I'm dealing with is that I don't have people that call me to see what's going on, you know. Like with Natalie, I always felt bad for her because she always had people wanting her attention, but then she's like, "Well, I want to give you my attention." And then, she is busy texting with people on the phone and, she gets pissed off and shuts it off and then it's just me and her and that's when her sister wants attention. So we gave her sister the attention. And it was pretty important for people to understand what was going on and now like they destroyed a lot more lives than just mine and Natalie's. And they have no remorse. The cops need to be stopped. They need to be forced to wear body cams.
Yeah, I feel like if anybody gave a fuck, obviously they would. And even for the few people that might give a fuck, that could actually possibly have some say. You know, the other fucking 75% of people who either don't care or think that, half the goddamn police force would step down at that point. 51% probably.
I'd be fine with that. Any officer
Well,
who
I
wants
get
to
that,
step
but
down
yeah,
because of a body camera is doing illegal things. He knows it and he's hiding it. He
yeah,
doesn't have any business being on the police force.
yeah, that damn fact.
Everything that was done with me and to me should have been recorded. The
Yeah,
biggest issue is that they get to do whatever they want to you and say whatever they want to you, and then they get to lie about it because they don't have audio recording, especially in jails. Like, I don't
yeah,
understand that.
yeah.
I
You
was
really do. But then, freaking privately owned prisons are one of the fucking biggest booming fucking industries in the U.S.
The prison industry is the largest industry in Colorado. Incarcerating Coloradans makes Colorado, well, actually, it doesn't make Colorado rich. It really, the taxpayers pay for all of that.
Yeah, and it really more like makes city and fucking county and otherwise bosses rich.
Yeah, the biggest issue that I had when I was locked up is that All right, so with Longmont, they refused to take a statement about a Longmont police officer. I finally was able to get the phone number to their internal affairs, but I really need to sit down and last time I called those numbers, they told me they'd call me back, and then the officers involved, the one from Broomfield and the two from Adams County, instead of them, the internal affairs calling me, it was these officers' supervisors who called me. Now, the one that I talked to in Longmont said she's not allowed to take a report about another officer from her department. Meanwhile, when I was near Arapahoe County Jail, they wouldn't allow me to speak to an actual investigator. They kept on doing wrong, and then they would give, when I would fill out a sheet saying that an officer had done something wrong, that officer would come back and give it to me. Like, how messed up is that? So the rules are different depending on where you're at and how homeless you are and a bunch of other stuff like that. Like, in Boulder, they beat the hell out of me. They assaulted me 4 times in 4 days. In Arapahoe County, I was there for 2 months. They assaulted me physically. They assaulted me once, but they kept on putting me on suicide watch for trying to turn in the officers because they were doing a lot more wrong stuff than that. There was a mentally ill guy in there who he's obviously not the brightest, brick in the shed, but the other guys didn't like him. They just straight up hated him. He didn't know anything about being in jail, so they didn't bother to show him anything. They just treated him like crap. And I actually got assaulted for sticking up for that guy. In jail, people don't understand that you people get hungry. They barely feed you enough in there, so people who get commissary get, it's like a rich person out here can pay a poor person to go kill a poor person. That pack of ramen noodles, you can tell somebody who's an artist that you'll pay him 4 packs of ramen noodles to draw you a picture. And then when he draws the picture, you take the picture and you pay somebody else 1 pack of ramen noodles to beat that guy up. And that's literally how it works. They prey on people who are homeless. When I was in there, one of the groups that I was in, see, there's there's over 1,800 inmates at the Arapahoe County Jail. So I had to break it down into smaller control groups. In the pods that I was in, I couldn't get an accurate count of how many people were homeless, but I talked individually to people, and nearly everybody in there was homeless. I went to 2 different groups, both church groups. The first one, there was 16 people in it, and 10 of them were homeless. That's 62.7% homelessness rate. And then the second one was 9 out of 9 people that were homeless. And then they got minorities and people who are considered mentally ill, which they do to nearly every homeless person. And there's so many people in there who got beaten up by the police and then got charged with assault against an officer. And every one of them had the same thing to say. If that officer had a body cam, I wouldn't be in here. Whereas me, I know better. I know that all those officers that were in the jail in Boulder County, there was at least 1 or 2 of them that had body cams. Statistically, there had to be. They just won't show it. But like, the biggest thing is I needed one person to stay in contact with me and find out what was going on and stay up on it. And although there was a lot of people at the beginning who cared, there was literally thousands of people who saw the post that I made. Um, the way that the Boulder police painted me, the way that the Bollingers painted me, and the way that the media painted me prevented me from being able to stick up for myself and made a public opinion of me that was terrible. And I had people threatening to kill me and my friends and family. And then after that, they did everything they could to keep me shut up, keep me from showing evidence until nobody cared anymore. And then they got away with everything that they did. Like I need people like you who know what's going on to get together with other people who know what's going on and try to fight for my rights because they're our rights. I'm suicidal all the time because I nobody has time. All my friends are broke. A lot of my friends were threatened and intimidated, and a few of them they sent some stuff to me that was almost mirror image of each other, which tells me that somebody threatened them. Somebody made them feel as if they would be harmed if they helped me any further. And with Candace, I know what happened with her and why she did it. I don't know why Lana and Amanda did it. I don't know if Ted Bollinger got a hold of them or what.
A different level, right? Because if a guy like that pursues women and starts threatening them, it's much different than if he pursued me in that sense. You know, I'd
Yep.
laugh at the guy and tell him to fucking go roll over in his own fucking grave. You know.
Well, most of these people that I stayed with, they said the same thing you did about if someone comes in their house, they'd shoot them. I know what caliber most of these people carry. I know Lana's got a 30-06. I know that Candace has a 45. I know that Jamie has a 9 millimeter. I mean, these are all things that they shared with me, and it's stuff that freaked me out. Like, why are you talking about shooting people? I'm literally freaking out because my best friend was shot in the head, and these people are all talking about how they would shoot somebody. And then Candace, like, she was talking about, if her kids were threatened that she'd shoot somebody. And then when the cops did that and her landlord did that, nope, she didn't. She folded. And it was the cops who did it. That's the most messed up part. Anyway, is there a time tomorrow I might be able to call you?
But not much time.
All right. Well, what time do you get off work?
Lunchtime's around 11. I normally get off around 3:30.
All right. I think I'm an hour ahead of you here, so I'll try to get a hold of you around probably what 5 o'clock or so.
Yeah, yeah, fine.
All right. Well, I'll call you around 5 o'clock. Love you, Brandon. Thank you for everything.
Yeah.
Be safe.